Hello, my name is Cristian Lopez. I'm a portrait photographer. Today I'm going to show you how I add basic adjustments to all of my images. We are going to be doing that inside Lightroom 5. We're gonna go ahead and open our software, and now I'm going to select the photo that I'm gonna be working with. In this case, we're gonna be working with this particular image. We're gonna press D for the develop module. That is gonna bring us our adjustment panels. As you can see, this photo is just like good, great right off the bat. You know, this is like an off-camera photo. I haven't done any adjustment to this particular one. And you might say, you know, this is just good enough. But one of the things that we do is that we get it right in camera and we perfect it in post-production. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. So I'm gonna go over here where it says basic, and my basic adjustments are gonna open. And if you take a look to this right here, it says white balance selector, and then you have sliders to mess around with your temperature. One of the things is that I shot this, you know, using an LMB B800. My LMB B800 outputs 5,500 kelvins. And so what I do is I set my camera to daylight, and that's the proper temperature. So I don't really have to worry about this. So I made my job a lot easier not worrying about white balance, which is one of the hardest things to understand. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the contrast, and I'm gonna increase the contrast by 10%. And then you have these sliders down here: highlight, shadows, whites, and blacks. If you take a look to our histogram, you can see that our values are well spread out through the entire histogram. Blacks, shadows, midtones, highlights, and whites. So I don't think that I need to do anything right now because, as I mentioned before, I got this right in camera. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go where it says present, and I'm gonna select the clarity slider, and I'm gonna add clarity by 10%. I'm gonna desaturate this image by 10%, and that is going to desaturate colors in the highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. But I'm losing some of the midtones right here, so I'm gonna go up here where it says vibrance, and I'm going to increase this by 10% to bring back some of those colors in the midtones. Now I'm gonna go where it says hue, saturation, and luminance. I'm gonna click the saturation panel, and I'm going to decrease the orange by 5% so I can get rid of that nasty orange that my Canon 7D produces. I'm gonna go to details. We have sharpening, and we also have noise reduction. I'm not gonna do any noise reduction today because I shot these at ISO 100, which is the finest quality that my camera offers. And I also shot these at aperture 7.1, which is a really good quality aperture. Then I'm gonna go to the sharpening. I'm gonna sharpen this by 50%. And I'm gonna go down here where it says masking, and I'm going to mask out the parts where I don't want my sharpening to show. So I'm gonna press Alt and move my slider to the right. Black conceals, white reveals. So I am adding sharpening to the white areas only. I want my eyes and my hair to be sharpened, and everything else I want it to be left out. So that is going to be great. We're gonna zoom in so you can see the image is a lot sharper now. And that's how I do my basic retouching. There's nothing else to do. This is the before, this is the after. Before and after. Muchas gracias por mirar este video. Mi nombre es Cristian López y los miro hasta la próxima. Muchas gracias.